Welcome to this video titled, Wounded Where God Hates, the Cross Over the Sanctuary and the Seven Abominations. This study explores the sacred stations where Christ's suffering addresses the sins that grieve the heart of God. Presentation created and prepared by Pastor Houston Taylor, M.A., Obtaining Inward Light Ministries and Lakeview Seventh-day Church. Join us in our studies regarding the central pillar of the sanctuary message in Christianity's doctrines to learn its spiritual significance. Locate our playlist in the Sanctuary Message playlist at Obtaining Inward Light Ministries YouTube platform. Subscribe and like for future notifications. We are called to take up the cross daily at each station. For example, nail your feet to his path, crucify your falsehood, and wash away discord. Our scriptural foundation comes from Proverbs chapter 6, verses 16 to 19, which lists the 7 things the Lord hates, calling them an abomination. These include a proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, and sowing discord, an heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. God's holiness is revealed in what he loves and what he abhors. These 7 abominations strike at the core of righteousness, wounding the heart of our Creator. This slide maps the 7 abominations to the 7 stations of Christ's passion. For example, the proud look is countered by the crown of thorns, and the lying tongue by the parched tongue. This is found in Proverbs chapter 6, verses 16 to 19. We explore the sacred overlay of the cross on the sanctuary path. At each station, Jesus suffered a specific wound confronting one of the 7 things God hates. Our central truth is that Jesus was wounded precisely where human sin offends God, ensuring that by his wounds we are healed. This unveils a redemptive reversal of the 7 abominations. Picture the cross of Christ laid over the sanctuary path of the Old Testament tabernacle. At each station, the door, the altar of sacrifice, the brass laver, the golden lampstand and table of showbread, the altar of incense, and beyond the veil, the Ark of the Covenant, Jesus suffered a specific wound that confronted one of the 7 things God hates. His feet were nailed to the threshold. He endured open shame at the altar. His side was pierced at the laver. His hands were wounded at the place of light and bread. His heart was broken at the altar of prayer. Thorns crowned his brow before the ark. His tongue thirsted on the cross. Inspired counsel reveals that Christ was treated as we deserve, so that we might be treated as he deserves. The cross unveils what sin has done to God's heart. The warfare against self is the greatest battle. At the sanctuary's entry, we must choose Christ's path. Following Jesus begins with stopping the rush towards sin and choosing the way of peace. Station 1 is the door, and the nail-pierced feet, feet swift in running to mischief, are confronted by his feet, pinned in obedience. Christ sanctifies our walk, transforming our steps towards sin into the gospel of peace. Station 2 is the altar of sacrifice and open shame, which confronts a false witness that speaketh lies. At the altar, the truth incarnate bore our deceit, despite the surrounding false witnesses. Daily consecration is necessary at the altar. We are called to lay our lives as a continual offering, surrendering our tendency to deceive, becoming vessels of Christ's veracity. Station 3 is the brass laver and the spear-pierced side, addressing he that soweth discord among brethren. The blood and water signify atonement and cleansing, counteracting the discord that tears apart unity. Christ died to make us one. When we choose unity over offense, we demonstrate that the water and blood from his side have done their work, making us peacemakers, not discord sowers. Station 4 and 5 are the menorah, showbread, and pierced hands, confronting, quote, hands that shed innocent blood. The innocent one stretched out his hands in mercy, reversing the abomination of destruction with life, light, and sustenance. Our hands become instruments of mercy and light, extending his pierced hands by serving and giving. Every act of mercy testifies to the one who bled so that we might bless. Station 6 is the altar of incense and the ruptured heart, addressing an heart that deviseth wicked imaginations. Christ's broken heart, ruptured by the weight of sin, offers renewal to our hearts. At the altar of incense, we retrain the imagination through prayer and holy meditation. Wicked schemes yield to thoughts that are true, honest, and pure, purchased by Christ's ruptured heart. Station 7 is the Ark of the Covenant and the crown brow, confronting a proud look. Christ was crowned with thorns, humbling himself unto death, confronting arrogance with divine humility. Station 7 within the Most Holy also includes the wound of thirst. God resists the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Humility opens the heart for God's law to be written within, reversing the proud look that lifts itself above God. Also at Station 7 is the parched tongue and refused gall, addressing, quote, a lying tongue as the second wound of Station 7. Christ refused to compromise, bearing witness to the truth, and no lie ever passed his lips. His thirst allows all who will accept to come and drink of the water of life freely. The cross unmasks all falsehood. When our speech is seasoned with grace and governed by truth, our tongues are sanctified, used for edification and the proclamation of the gospel. The 7 stations summarize the path, from feet nailed at the door to the parched tongue, all fulfilled in Jesus, who is the way, the truth, and the life. The sanctuary centers Christ's work, pointing not only to Calvary, but to his present intercession as high priest. The 7 wounds reveal the anguish of sin and the 7-fold remedy his grace provides. What God hates, Christ conquered. We are called to embody the reversals, becoming lively stones built up as a spiritual house. Our transformation is necessary for Christ's return. We are called to take up the cross daily at each station. For example, nail your feet to his path, crucify your falsehood, and wash away discord. Practical steps include daily surrender, confession, and restitution. Heal the breach and mend the bond of peace by seeking reconciliation where you have sown discord. Commit to acts of service and practice truthful speech. Guard your tongue this week. No exaggeration or gossip. Daily, renew your mind by meditating on things that are pure and lovely. Christ is able to save you to the uttermost. He asks you to accept the full scope of his sacrifice, all 7 wounds for all 7 abominations. Permit the power of his 7-fold atonement to put to death the 7 things the Lord hates within you. May we walk this sanctuary path daily, crucifying sin at every station. Presentation created and prepared by Pastor Houston Taylor, M.A. Obtaining Inward Light Ministries and Lakeview Seventh-day Church. Join us in our studies regarding the central pillar of the sanctuary message in Christianity's doctrines to learn its spiritual significance. Locate our playlist in the Sanctuary Message playlist at Obtaining Inward Light Ministries YouTube platform. Subscribe and like for future notifications.